This is the final system we're talking about today, the Sony PlayStation 3. Much like the Xbox 360, it is wireless, has wireless internet, wireless controllers, and built-in Wi-Fi. In fact, it is not nearly as popular in some circles as the Xbox 360, but places like Japan, it is very, very popular. Most of the games are meant to be played on the system alone, with less of a focus on the online component. However, it does have a free online component, unlike the Xbox 360, which you do have to pay for monthly to unlock the full online capability. This system is built around fighting games, first-person shooters, and action and music games, much like the 360. So they share a lot between them. There's a lot of overlap and much controversy over which one is the better system. However, in the United States, it is almost certainly the 360 that wins out in terms of popularity. However, because this has some games that the 360 doesn't have, and because it has the free online component, it sometimes is chosen as the top competitor or as the replacement for the 360. They run about the same price. This can be had now for around $200, sometimes even less if you buy it refurbished. The Xbox is also the same thing, $200, $150 even if you find the right refurbished unit. Now, this has multiple titles that are fighting games, especially like Soul Calibur 4. This is a fighting game that a couple of players, first-person action where you're playing as a specific character from this Soul Calibur universe. There's knights, warriors, wizards, that kind of thing. It's sort of a swords and sorcery magic type of thing. It has games like Street Fighter. This is a classic title from way back in the early days of gaming, where you're playing as these martial artists, kind of in the Mortal Kombat theme, where you're fighting for championship of the world, let's say, Ultimate Fighting Championship. It does have some titles like Mortal Kombat. This is a very popular title, has been around for a long time. The latest iteration of it is on the PlayStation 3 and follows the same sort of cinematic fighting game that the old Mortal Kombat series was. The next one is a family-friendly game. It does have a few family-friendly titles, like Mod Nation Racers. This is rated E for everyone. These titles allow you to just build your own custom race car and racetrack using the controllers, race around. This is good if you have kids that come in and play, you want to make this multifunctional. Not so many titles that are geared towards older adults in this system. So the PlayStation 3 is really specifically just for the younger crowd or the gaming intensive crowd, whereas the Xbox does offer a little bit more flexibility with the family and older adult gaming. Finally, some of the popular titles on here, the kind of rival Halo, is the Call of Duty series. This is the Black Ops. These games are first-person shooters again, but unlike in Halo where you're an armored warrior fighting on an alien planet, these are centered around real-life humans set in modern or fictional war scenarios. There might be World War II, it might be some fictional future war, but you're playing as a human character. These games tend to be rated mature and a little bit more explicit even than Halo because of the fact that you're fighting with identifiable human characters. The controllers on the PlayStation 3 are a little bit smaller than the Xbox, a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to use. You can see the comparison here, a little bit less bulky. And they have a built-in rechargeable battery, whereas the Xbox has the option of AA batteries or rechargeable. These are built-in, rechargeable only, and can be wired the same way through a USB wire. These controllers are also two-handed, meant to fit in a player's hands, and you control with the thumbs. Just as complicated in the sense of the number of buttons, but they add a couple extra that the Xbox 360 doesn't have. So there's a slightly higher learning curve playing with the PlayStation 3 controllers, but really they offer the same function once you figure it out.